Hey guys. So it's been a while since I posted anything, and I thought I'd come back because Feral has finally gotten their, in my opinion, last pre-raid tuning. We had our AoE tuning, changing Brutal Slash up about 20%, Thrash 15%, etc., etc. Then we had the recent patch notes, or the recent patch, where we got some energy regen, more rip damage. They adjusted berserk duration, and of course reducing our haste or on our inherent haste gain by 25%. Which I think at this point Feral is gonna stick to this. I'm reckoning that there's gonna be some damage tuning in the raid, and there might be one talent tuning or two talent tuning, depending how you look at it. But I think Feral is pretty solid where it stands right now. I don't think we're gonna get any more major changes, except the tuning one, obviously, because for the people who think their damage is low, yeah, it sort of is. It's just we're under-tuned right now, so don't expect that to stay the same. I'm guessing we're going to get maybe a 10% or a 15% overall damage increase. These patches recently have only been there to sort of make us more playable, and I think they've succeeded at that. Especially the latest one made the rotation pretty smooth. Yeah, let's go over the talents first. This is going to be your bog standard single target talents. Lunar Inspiration, giving you Moonfire, Wild Charge, or Tiger's Dash if you prefer that. Balance Affinity has been nerfed slightly, but I still prefer it. You might not. Here, just Typhoon for me is the best general option to have. Here you have some competition between Jagged Wounds and the Soul of the Forest. For me, let me pull up the sims. Yep. For me, Soul of the Forest sims 0.5% lower than Jagged Wounds, so I'm just not going to use that. But that's fine. Means that we have a bit of complexity in this row, back to sort of Emerald Nightmare style Feral gameplay. And here, this is the big unfortunate thing about Feral right now. Sabertooth sims way ahead of Savage Roar for single target. I mean, it's just bonkers. Like, I think it's for me 3 or 4% higher Sabertooth, and Savage Roar is just way undertuned. I think that increases to at least 20 or 25%. In my opinion, it should be 25%, so the damage increase is fairly high. Because right now, I don't really want to give up, or I don't really want to take on a more complex rotation that leaves way more room for mistake for it. Like, I'm gonna want at least a 1% or a 2%, or hell, I'd prefer like a 4% damage increase over Sabertooth to pick Savage Roar up. But that's probably gonna get tuned. That was the talent that I was mentioning. I think Savage Roar is gonna get buffed, or they're gonna nerf Sabertooth. And here in the last row, Blood Talent is back. If you want to use a more simpler rotation, I guess go with Moment of Clarity. But if you want to do actual damage and you're gonna want to play a more Feral-like spec, you're gonna want to go with Blood Talents. It's really strong and it's really fun to use, in my opinion. So that's the talents, and for AoE, it's just the same as in Legion. Just pick up Pred and Brutal Slash. That's it. Yeah, let's go with stats. These are my stat weights, and stat weights for everyone is different. So please sim yourself. This is not going to give you. This is going to give you a decent idea what to aim for, which is haste and crit and eye level. And for weapons, just pick whichever weapon has the highest eye level. Period. Like, weapon DPS is way ahead of everything else. But otherwise, just if it has more eye level, it might be better. It's probably gonna be better. But if it has both mastery and verse on it, it might not be valued as highly as something with high haste and crit on it. But yeah, these are the stat weights for me personally. So in my opinion, if you want to look for good stat optimized pieces, get haste and crit ones, because they're probably TM gonna sim higher for you. Let's go over the rotation. What's changed since Legion? Well, we're going to use Bloodhounds now, obviously, and Lunar Inspiration, so Moonfire. Other thing that's changed is that right now, at least for me personally, using Thrash, having that uptime up on single target is good. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. There is a calculator from the Feral Discord that I'm going to link in the description or in the comments. I highly recommend you put yourself or your own stats in there and see where you land. The requirement isn't that high of stats to use Thrash in your rotation, so chances are you're going to want to use it regardless. So just sort of get used to using Thrash in your rotation, although in my opinion they're probably gonna tune this down when they realize that people are using an AoE ability for single target. But in my opinion it works really well. It's actually really fun to use, especially when you're using Sabretooth, since you don't like not having to replay Savage Roar means that you have a lot of spare time to like sort of keep an eye out on your abilities. So just incorporating Thrash in there, one, it gives you good damage, and two, it's just more interactive. Alright, let's start the rotation. Rotation right now is Rake, Moonfire, and then at 4 or 5 combo points use Berserk, Tiger's Fury, and then make sure you're at 5 combo points. So then you're gonna have one stack of Bloodhounds left. Just use that on Rip, and then afterwards I usually use Thrash, but we'll see how this rotation or how this opener turns out. It always varies how often your Moonfire is gonna crit. It's sort of gonna like decide how your opener looks like. But let's see. I'm not gonna use any potions for this because they're way too expensive. Let's start. Do an inspiration, do an inspiration, do an inspiration. There we go. That's the first Rip. Big Rake. Here I'm gonna try to play fairly spammy because I still have Circ up, but my weak aura isn't telling that, so I'm gonna have to update that. But you know, it's fine. Alright, now we're getting into Thrash falling off again, and now we've got that nice proc. This is where we're gonna wanna, there we go, wait for Tiger's Fury to come up and buff that, yeah, buff that. Here I'm a bit concerned. I think Rake might fall off, but no, we got saved. Alright, our stuff are good. Gonna reapply the Thrash. Wow, Rake is really just being a jerk today. Go, Moonfire back up to big, yeah, there we go. Just good procs all around. You know, a bit of a, yeah, I know I should be using Shadow Meld more, but I just I'm just not. It's a flaw of mine. Yeah, just you know, just maintain your stuff. This is what feels like. And I mean, to be fair, if you're like, right now I'm doing alright. I'm gonna please. Okay, lost a second on that. Easy peasy. But yeah, I mean, right now I'm doing about 1k more than my sim DPS, which I'm very happy about. Yeah, I mean, if this is the kind of playstyle you like, which I really do, you're gonna really enjoy Feral. I do think Sabretooth makes specs a bit too easy to play, so I hope they tune that, because while this might look sort of fun, it's sort of playing itself, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue a few more seconds. Okay, so this is something you don't want to do. You don't want to you don't want to stack Thrash, which I did a few seconds ago. I mean, you wanted to go into Pandemic and then you want to refresh it. Oh, there I capped on energy. I sort of wish our pool was a bit higher. Thrash is gonna fall off, but that's okay. This is pretty awkward actually. Gonna have to do this. Actually gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this. Wow. Alright. I'd rather waste... Okay, that might have been a mistake, I don't know. I just didn't wanna let Rake not tick. Wow, my energy, holy smokes. Come on. It's either you have way too much of it or you have way too little of it. Alright, towards the end there it's not going that well. My uptimes are beginning to lag quite a bit. Let's back up, let's back up. Yeah, if we have just... Yeah, shouldn't complain, but sort of wish we had slightly more of an energy pool, because it feels a bit too lackluster right now. But it was also me not focusing properly, so, you know. My own mistake in a way. Alright, we're gonna go on for a few more seconds. But I mean, you sort of get the idea. It's Emerald Nightmare Feral without legendaries and without Savage Roar, essentially. Which I don't know. Some people might really like this. I personally like Savage Roar. Alright, that's it. About 8.4k DPS, which I mean, this is super patchwork, so it's it doesn't really tell me a lot. But I mean, to me, the playstyle was alright. Like I've said probably 10 times at this point, I do want Savage Roar back, but you know, we're gonna get that in a patch eventually, I reckon. Anyway, that's it. Some info about BFA Feral. We're looking pretty alright, even though we started pretty damn rough. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.